Cool. Let's jump. Play from the start.
Dheeraj, only one thing I want to ask. This recording we will also get, right?
Obviously, for you guys only, I'm recording it.
Thank you.
So before jumping to the session, no, I just wanted to clear a few things. Let's just give me two minutes. Okay. Okay. So guys, I just wanted to clear this few things with you. In our batch, what we used to do is I'm not going to mute you for a first, and then I'll explain you in one go, and then you can unmute and you can ask the question. So what is the strategy in my batch is like you will be always, you can unmute yourself. But like being a professional, I rely on you that you will not disturb the regular classes, right? I believe in the regular interval, what you can do is after completion of the topic, you can shoot your questions, right? So that's what level of understanding that I wanted from you. Second, whatever your doubts, right, whatever your doubts that you have, you can reach out to me and we will try to solve that doubts in the next particular weekends, right, or next in the next classes, right? Because I believe that if you're coming with the doubts, that particular doubt we're gonna share that doubt with everyone, and it could be possible that the same doubt could like most of us will have that doubt as well. So we'll discuss that doubt, right? And then we will try to solve it. So that's what I just wanted to explain, that this is like we are not going to mute everyone and all. So quickly, without wasting a time, I'll just move ahead with Python network automation stuff. Okay. So I guess this, like, about me, you all know, because most of the time you could be like you know very well. Now let's move towards this slide. I believe that you all know who developed Python is GVR, right? In 1999, GVR developed the Python. But in the demo section, I just told this, that GVR developed Python in 1999 and all, and 2006 it has been more popular. So I'll quickly tell you the history of Python, because being a network automation developer, you should know that from where the Python has been developed, right? So when GVR was in Google, he has developed this language in the Google only. Then he switched his career to the Dropbox. Then he switched his career to the Microsoft. Right now, he is a working professional in Microsoft. So what happened at that time is when GVR has developed that language, so you can have a look of this gap, guys. Right? Whatever this gap is 1999 to 2006. GVR took this time to integrate like that particular Python language with most of the frameworks, right? But during that, what happened is Java has already been implemented in 1995. But within few time, or we can say within few months or few years, Java has been more popular with the users, because most of the, like, you can you can see this, that 3 million devices run Java, right, within few years. So how this Python has been, like, we can say the Python went on a back foot and Java come forward, and then everyone started using Java, and the craze of Java in the markets gets higher. But why not Python? Nowadays, Python came across, or most of the organization want a Python developer, right? Most of the organization want Python developer in their industry because they wanted to use Python rather than Java. The biggest reason of using Python now is Google has already started their frameworks, right? Framework, it means that whatever website that you will able to see in the background, Python is working, right? So Google has modified their code content and they have started implementing or developing the codes in the Python only. And we all knows the funda of professional in the IT field is like, if one of the MNCs get started with the new technology, we all have to follow it, right? Then Google, as well as when the GVR went to Dropbox also started working on it. Then GVR went to Microsoft. Then Microsoft also started using Python in the background. So in this way, the journey of Python has happened. Now, I hope you're clear like how the journey of Python started. Let's move ahead with the next slides and let's see. Okay. Now from here, we will not go much theoretical. I know that it's a morning time and that's the main concern that I'm explaining this theoretical part to you guys. Just bear with me for 2-3 slides and quickly we will compare that how to install Python and then how you can run the Python in your system, right? So Python is an interpreted, interactive and object-oriented programming language. See guys, being a network developer, if you want to change your career to the network automation, the first question of the interview will be this: is the Python is interpreted? Then prove it. Why it is interpreted, right? And interpreted, interactive and object-oriented. Let's understand point by point. First is interpreted. I hope that you have ever at least worked on C language, right? In the college days, we all have to learn C language. So what was happened in C language? What in C language, guys? Let's say this is your code, right? This is your C code .c file, you can say. Whenever if you're running your code, it went through two parameters, or let's say two containers. First, you can say compiler, and second is runtime. I'll tell you, don't worry about it. Let's say let's say I'm a user who is running this file. Whenever if you're running this file now, guys, it's been compiling. Now, what is meant by compiling? Compiling is, let's say if you're writing something in the C code, what this compiler will do, it will evaluate this lines in the background, that is there any error in this line or not, is this line is correct or not, is syntax is correct or not, right? Your code will evaluate here only, it will not go here. This is your display screen, you can say. This is your display screen, right? In the runtime, you can say. So C was doing that. It was compiling the error or compiling the code in the background, and if everything works okay, then it is shooting that particular output into the runtime. Now, what Python says to us is, I don't want this compilation logic. What Python is saying that I don't want this compilation work thing. What Python is doing, great, rather than compiling, let's compile and run at the same time. Let's compile and run at the same time. Now, what is the advantage for it? That if you're not compiling the code in the background, the memory will get stored, right? The memory uses will get lesser. Now, if we are running this code directly on the runtime, the way or the execution time will be more, right? That is the second advantage. As well as if we are skipping entire this one step, right? If we are skipping this entire one step, whatever error that we're gonna get, our code will stop at that line, right? Now, let's prove this with the help of coding. Whatever that we just discussed, let's prove that with the help of coding. Now, guys, I wanted to tell you one thing. So let's say if you are in the office, right, and you want to run some Python course. Rather than that, what you can, rather than opening your Pycharm and all, simply type on Google online interpreter and go to this interpreter. Right? This is the online interpreter. Now here you can see main.py. Don't worry about what is the extensions of Python file and all. We have slides for that. We're gonna learn. But I just wanted to give you, yeah. Anyone has any questions? Okay. Now, guys, please be on mute. Okay. So here I'm just giving you overview of online interpreter, right? So here what we are doing is print hello world. What is print, guys? Print is just giving the message to the user. What is my print? Is just giving the message to the user. In the C, what we used to do, printf. In the C++, what we used to use, cout, right? So the same logic that we are implementing in the Python is print, right? Print hello world. If we run this code here only, guys, you will get the message as hello world. Get the message as hello world. Now let's compare why and how it is interpreted language. Let me open C compiler as well side by side. Okay, this is C. See, I'm getting the same message, hello world over here. Now here, what I'm doing is print 2 divided by 0. What I'm printing? Print 2 divided by 0. Let's run the code. Right? Let's run the code. What I'm getting? I'm getting error. Right? Because I'm sorry, I made a syntax error. It should be printf because it's C, not Python. Right? So let me cut this line for a while and let's put after hello world. Right? Let's run the code now. See, I'm getting floating point exception error. The error name is floating point exception. But that you understand now, what in this is compilation, or you can say compiler. Guys, am I audible or my voice is breaking in between?
Yeah,
And even
little bit it's breaking, but you are audible.
okay.
Yes, Dheeraj, it's breaking.
Sorry,
Yeah.
so
Cool. So this is the runtime. Now, what is happening is with this C code is whatever code that we have written over here, C is compiling that particular code in the background. And while compiling, C has observed, okay, this line is incorrect. And that's the reason I need to shoot the error, which is named as floating point exception. But my concern is that's fine that this line has error. But what about this line? This line is correct, right? So at least give the output of this. No, that's the main work of this compiler. And hence in Python, we are not using this compiler because we want output of this line because there is no issues in this line. Or being a new person, he will don't understand what is this floating point exception or in which line there is error, right? And that's the main concern, that Python is easy to learn, right? Now let's do the same logic in the Python. What I'm doing is here I'm writing print 2 divided by 0. Can anyone quickly answer what is 2 divided by 0? What will be the result in math? Anyone?
Infinity.
Infinity. Good. So Python will not understand what is infinity, guys. That's the main concern. If we will, Python or any compiler language will not understand what is infinity. And that's the main purpose. We are using the same command that will get error in between, through that particular command. Now let's run the same code. See, here, if I run the same code in the Python, I am getting result. See, hello world. But on the line number 4, I am getting 0 division error. I'm getting 0 division error. Why? Because Python always runs their code in the runtime. If someone asks you, what is the difference between C or in the Python, always keep in mind, Python has runtime compilation, right? Always Python runs the code line by line. This is the major keyword that you need to keep in mind. Python runs their code line by line, right? So what is happening over here? Interpreter will go over here. It will print hello world, right? What? Because there is no error in this line. Hence, I'm printing this. What? That is what the Python is saying. Now, Python interpreter will goes to this particular line, print 2 divided by 0. Oh, there is an error. I don't know what is 2 divided by 0. Hence, I'll shoot the error, right? Until this part. Anyone has any issues?
Bro, it's a line by line
size.
compiler, right?
Guys, one by one, please.
Can you increase the font size?
Cool, no issues. I think it's, give me a sec. Yeah, shoot your question, please.
Okay, it's a compiling line by line, right?
Python is compiling line by line, yes.
Right. Okay.
See, this particular line has, we are getting output as hello world, but this particular output, this particular line has error, and hence we are getting error. That's mean by, that is the major that in the industry, why they are using it, because we are getting the exact result whatever we are expecting. That's what in the industry people are migrating towards the Python. Now let's move ahead. Now I was saying that so I hope you are clear with why it is interpreted, right? Now let's move ahead with interactive. See, I'm pressurizing for these 3 points. I'm going into more detail because this is very important to start the Python. I don't want anyone who joined our class and if they're gonna try for they're gonna reach out for the interviews and someone asks you that, okay, what is the difference between interpreted and compilation language, right? So I hope you understood what is interpreted. Let's move towards interactive. Guys, please be on mute. Now, interactive means what? Python is an interactive language. So in the demos class as well, I have told you guys, interactive means whoever or whatever. Let me zoom it little. I think it will not zoom. That's fine. I hope that font is visible to you all. So interactive means whatever command that you are giving to the Python, it will give the result within a minute, or not within a minute, within a seconds, microseconds you can say. So it just you can say shell commands. We all know shell commands, right? It's like we are giving the input, we are getting the output. Let's say I wanted to test one syntax, the same syntax that I'll write over here. Print f. Here I'm writing wrong syntax. Printf is a syntax of C language. Printf 2 divided by 0, the same thing. Let's say I should get the 0 division error or syntax error. So I'm getting syntax error. That name printf is not defined. And in this way, I'm interacting towards the Python and I'm getting the result. Okay, this syntax is not correct. So that is meant by Python is interactive language. Now, third point is object-oriented programming language. Why object-oriented programming language? Because Python support classes, Python support objects, Python supports inheritance. Now, what is classes? What is object? So let's understand with the day-to-day example. We all use Excels, right? Microsoft Excel, I meant to say. So in the Excel, anyone can tell me, let's say you have given a task from your client that you need to prepare an Excel, which will include the device details. Let's say version, show running configuration, IP address, and so on, right? What will be the first step you guys will do? Anyone?
We'll log into the devices, we'll take the serial number inventories.
No. I'm talking about Excel point of view. Let's think about Excel point of view. You log into the Excel. What will be the first step that you guys will do?
Alignment.
Headers, like what information we are gathering.
Yes. First is headers, right? The first row. Right? What information we need? Let's say I need IP address, I need name, I need, let's say, version, whatever it is, right? This is headers. And according to this particular row or headers, we are writing the data. We'll write the data according to our whatever data that we have on the devices, right? So guys, this is meant by class. This is meant by class. Now, class is, the bookish definition of the class is, it's a blueprints of real-time activities or real-time objects. You can say that, right? What is class? It's a blueprint of real-time objects. Now, whatever data that we're gonna write inside this table, it is known as objects. It is known as objects, right? What is the bookish definition of objects? It's a blueprint of the class, or you can say objects is the instance. Object is the instance of the class, right? Because we are writing the data with the help of these headers only. Hence, objects are the instance of the class. I hope you all understood the classes and object in a very day-to-day way. Let's move ahead. And that's the main concern, that Python has supported this object-oriented programming, as well as Python supports inheritance, that we will see in the future classes, what is inheritance and all, right? So that's about why Python is interpreted, interactive, and object-oriented language. Now, Python language is incredibly easy to use and learn for new beginners and newcomers that we all know, and hence we are learning it. Due to its ease of learning and uses, Python codes can be easily written and executed much faster than other programming language. We have proved that why Python is much faster than Java. We have proved that why Python is much faster than C or C++ language, right? Now, the most important point is last one, that Python is a portable. Now, guys, Python language is a portable language. You can use the same code in Linux. You can use the same code in Unix. You can use the same code in Windows, right? It's an open standard tool. You can say Python is a open standard tool, or Python is a portable language, right? So in the layman term, what we used to write, what we used to tell, like what we used to explain, Python is the portable language, right? That's it about theory. This slide we have seen, this slide shows the difference between Java and Python. Can anyone tell me how many versions are Python of there? What are the versions of Python? In the demo class, I have explained and even remember.
2.0, 3.0.
Cool. There are 2 versions of Python, right? Now, first is 2.0 and 3.0. There are sub versions, let's say 2.1 to so on, and then whatever 3.11 is going around nowadays. Now, here, what is the difference that I didn't tell you in the class, right? The difference between 2 and 2.0 and 3.0 is there is a difference in the syntax, right? So here, just have a look. The print hello world, and the same command I'm writing over here is print hello world, right? Now, what is happening here? There is syntaxes gets changed. See, for the print in the 3.0, this is version 3.0 command, this is 2.0 command. Here I'm just writing curly braces, no, my bad, round brackets, right? In the 3.0. So there are same like this, there are few other syntax changes. And in a class as well, we will use 3.0 as it is the latest one rather than 2.0.
So in 3.0, its print is a function, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like not in only specific in 3.0, 2.0 it's a print is also the function in 2.0 as well. But writing or calling the function syntax is different in 2.0.
Okay, okay.
Now let's move ahead, and like it depends on you guys. If you wanna go side by side installation of Python and Pycharm, you can do that. But I would suggest, like I'll suggest you that let's have a look over here first, and then download it today itself, and then come up with me if there are any issues in the next class. We're gonna fix your downloading and setup issues. Now, these are few online compilers that you can use. You can use Google Colab, you can use online Python compiler, and you can use this the first compiler. It's all are the online compilers. No need to install anything into your PC, right? You can run your code without downloading Python into your PC, right? I'll share this slide with you soon. In that, automatically you can go to that links and you can use the Python code. Now tell me how many of you have Mac?
I have Mac.
Yeah, I have.
M1 or Intel?
It's me, Intel.
Intel, the old one or newest one? Just wanted to tell because I just wanted to ask because there are a lot of changes in there.
I have 2015, maybe old one.
Old one, Intel one. Okay, assuming the Intel one is good because like who are there in there will be no issues who has Intels, but those who have M1 they can reach out to me for the setup. Now here for today's setup, what I will show you is I'll show it on Windows, right? And same steps you need to follow on Mac Intel. Like the steps will be same, no change, it will be there. Now for downloading Python, the first step is for downloading Python. Let's move ahead. See, you have to just write Python download, right? Go to this website, python.org. This website will open. And here, see, this is the latest version of Python, guys, 3.10.6. 3.10.6. And here, look, there are a few other versions as well. It is available. 3.9, 3.c, I think 2. Is also available, 2.7 and all. But I recommend you for network automation, always go with 3.10, 3.10.6, the latest one, right? So simply download it. Guys, after downloading, just follow me. Don't miss this steps. Otherwise, it will be error after the compilation or after during runtime. Just follow me. Here, I'm just executing this path. So this screen will gonna come up after hitting on executive file. Here, you just need to keep in mind one thing. Do not ever forget to tick on this particular checkbox. Add Python 3.10 to the path. Don't forget it, right? If you forget it, keep in mind that uninstall Python and reinstall it. Otherwise, there are more ways if you don't want to install. But I want you all to check this box and then hit install now.
Sir, I'm using Anaconda environment, so I think it's fine.
That
correct?
is fine. That is fine. Yes, that is fine.
And I'm using Jupyter Notebook, which is
For
inbuilt.
Jupyter Notebook, I'll tell you. Let me complete this. I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
So let's wait until meanwhile, let's the installation will complete.
Yeah,
Now, go ahead, Sharif.
I already installed this actually before. So how can I confirm that that 2 box already I ticked or not?
Wait, we'll confirm that as well. Let me complete this setup. I'll tell you how to confirm. Done. Now setup is done. Now how to check that Python is installed into our system successfully, or can we use the Python? Simply go to your command prompt. If you are using Windows, if Mac, go to your terminal. Now here, simply write py. After writing py, if you are getting these 3 greater than signs, in Python known as interpreter. This is what interpreter. Right? If you're getting this 3 greater than signs, means the Python has been successfully installed in your system. For few of you, it could be like it depends on the machine that it is taking py or it's taking complete Python. If the py is not working, guys, let's hit exit. If the py is not working, just write Python completely. If you're writing Python as well, you should get this 3 greater than sign. Try with both the options, right? So this indicates that Python has been successfully installed into your system, right? Clear with the steps? Shall I move ahead with the next setup? Anyone has any concerns? Okay, Ramesh? Okay, let's move ahead. Now, what I will do is the second step that we all need to follow, which is what? Let me go to next slide. See, Python installation, it's there. You can go to this website and just enter py in the command line. It will open. It means that whatever the Python that you have installed, it is installed successfully, right? If you want to check, see, the version is 3.8.2. That is the old slide. So right now we just installed.
Sorry for interrupt. That if I have installed the old Python 2.7 or something, so I need to install again. It will be overwrite or it will be new Python.
No, just uninstall that old one and install new one.
Okay.
So why I'm telling this is because I want everyone to be on same page, because in 2.7 the syntax errors will be different. The syntax will be different for few of the commands. So at that time, it will be a bigger task for you to compile or to invest time to solve that syntax errors. So I want everyone to be on same page. Now let's move towards Pycharm. Anyone can tell me, can anyone tell me what is Pycharm is?
It's a we can
It's open source code.
note and we can make the
Is an
project and
IDE. Is an
Yes,
IDE.
IDE, right? IDE is it's an IDE. We can use anything. right? IDE means integrated development environment. Here, it's a mediator between your Python and the devices, right? So you can use any IDE. You can use Notepad. You can use Jupyter Notebook. You can use what? VS Code and all, right? But I recommend you to use Pycharm for our network automation. So few of the guys are using Jupyter Notebook. I'll tell you what will be the issue. I know that you can write your codes into Jupyter Notebook, but how you will gonna connect your particular Jupyter Notebook to your device with your devices, right? Because Jupyter Notebook is on cloud. Now from cloud, how the Jupyter Notebook will gonna know that whatever devices that you have installed in your local machine, you have to integrate that first. So that will be hectic task for you, right? So for that reason, I recommend you to use Pycharm. Okay, that's fine. Let's move ahead with the installation of the Pycharm now. Where is our screen? Here. Simple. Just hit Pycharm install. And guys, please, if don't try installing Pycharm first and then Python. I would recommend install Python first and then Pycharm. Download Pycharm. Always keep in mind, don't click on this professional download. It's like we have to pay for it, but for automation, we're gonna use this community edition only. If you want to buy professional, you are free to go. So here I just clicked on community one and it's downloading now. Let's wait for a few seconds. It will be downloaded and then we will see. Guys, just a request, if you don't have any question, just check once that you are you're unmute or not, right? If you're unmute, just mute yourself so it will not disturb you even. Okay, let's wait for a sec. Guys, you are doing side by side or you're just watching?
No, I'm doing side by side.
Side by side, I'm doing.
Cool. That's fine. But don't miss the steps. Have a look over here as well. 3, 2, 1, go. See, now hit next. Don't play with this particular folders, destination folders. You can change it accordingly, but I recommend you don't play with this. Now this box, right? The same thing. Checked everything which is written over here, right? Python community edition, it's a shortcut only that we want. Context menu, you have to add open folder as a project, then .py file, it should support that particular association, as well as this is the major part. We did same thing in the Python in the while installing Python as well, right? We are adding that part into the environmental variables. Now checked everything, hit next, hit install. That's it. Simple way to install Python. Now, meanwhile, it is installing. Anyone has any questions, they can shoot.
How can I check that one? Can you just tell me if possible?
How can you check the what?
While installing the Python, you
okay, I'll repeat that for you, no issues. So you can check that Python is installed in your system or not, simply hit py, that's it.
Yeah, it is installed. It is 10.6 only.
Yeah.
But you have pick 2 boxes, right? That is it compulsory or is mandatory one?
That boxes that we have just seen.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a question, Sharif. Could you please repeat that?
Yeah, while installing the Python, you have I think bin box, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that how can I confirm whether I ticked or not?
Cool. Good question. I'll tell you. So you ticked or not. Let's wait for a while. Let me install Pycharm and then I'll tell you. There are other ways as well, but if you any which way we are installing Pycharm as well, right? So there is that way. In that way as well, we can confirm that. If not, then I'll tell you.
Fine.
Okay. Or else let's go ahead with that. We have time. So for confirming, you can go to your my computer, like this PC, go towards properties.
If it is Mac,
If it is Mac, then you have to go to Z profile thing. Sharif, you can connect with me. I'll tell you the environment thing. Environmental variable you have to check.
or otherwise I can uninstall and install, right? That also
Yeah,
possible.
that is like that is the prominent way to do it. But we'll see how we can fix
Okay.
that.
Dheeraj, can you tell me in Windows how to check that one?
Yes, I'll tell you that. Let's wait for Pycharm to install. We can confirm via Pycharm as well. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. I will reboot it later. Let's open Pycharm, guys. I guess shortcut will be created over here on the desktop. Okay. Don't import. I don't want to import anything. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, cool. So guys, see, this is the first page, right? So I want you to create a project in a directory in a directory through which that you have to use that particular course in the future, right? So don't simply just create a project, select the folder, whatever folder, whichever path that you need to select it and then create the directory, right? So here I have chosen this particular directory. You can change this directory according to your whatever folder or whichever folder you wanted to store your codes. Now don't play with this part, guys. This is a virtual environment. So what is going to happen is whenever if we are creating any project, a virtual environment will be created, right? Now this particular virtual environment will get integrated towards your Python, whatever that you have downloaded, right? And hence I requesting you that do not ever play with this particular menus. Just select your directory, hit create. Is it created?
Hey bro, I have one issue. I opened the folder. I'm not getting any virtual project here. It's just asking the path only.
Hit create and then check over here in the
Okay.
project directory. Okay, it's
I have
done.
a question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So why we are using Pycharm? What is the function for Python? Because I'm new to this. So.
Okay, cool. So I will tell you why we are using Pycharm is whatever the suggestions that we are getting from the Python, no, it's very much clear in Pycharm. And hence we are using Pycharm for integration of the Python. And it's very user friendly with like, see, I have used in my organization, I used to use VS Code, but there I'm lagging with the suggestions. Let's say I want to, I don't know the syntax of it. So what I will do, I'll simply hit tab. I'll get suggestions. What are the command that has been supported? Getting my point? Here, Pycharm has their inbuilt modules to suggest you what should be the next command, right? Rather than downloading any inbuilt functionalities. See, you can have a look. Download pre-built share indexes. So Pycharm is automatically downloading whatever it is needed for your code. No need to do manual installation. That's the main concern we are using Pycharm.
Okay. If we will not download this Pycharm, then what will be the effect in Python?
You can if you don't want to go VS Code, as well as if you don't want to download any IDE, there is an inbuilt IDE known as IDLE. But there it will be just a plain text for you. I'll show you that. Give me a sec. I think we have seen this, guys. This interpreter, right? You can simply use Control N. Right. So the next page will gonna open. If you don't want to use Pycharm, guys, you can run your code like this as well. Let's say import netmiko, no suggestions, nothing will be there, right? No color codings, nothing. Simply blank page. You just need to write your code and that's it. And that's the main concern, to take or to you should get suggestions from it. We are using Pycharm for your network automation. Now see here, there is a virtual environment. Now the main concern that why we have checked that particular checkbox, right, is here in the top left. My bad. In the bottom right, right? You're getting this Python 3.0, right? If you didn't hit that checkbox, no guys, this will not be there. Automatically, Pycharm has what? Integrate your Python with Pycharm. Getting my point? So what Pycharm did is, when it was installing the pre-builds, Pycharm found the Python into a directory, and Pycharm has integrated Python automatically, right? This 3.10 version that I have. So anyone in our class who has just downloaded Python are not getting this particular interpreter in the Pycharm. So if you're not getting it, remember you missed to check on that checkbox during installing the Python, right? Still, it could be possible that it is not showing. So simply go to this interpreter settings. Getting this interpreter settings, go to this interpreter settings. Where is the settings? Yeah, it's open now. So in this interpreter settings, you can choose the interpreter that you have. So few of the guys have two versions. Let's say like 2.0 as well and 3.0 as well. So there it will be two versions will be shown over here, right? So right now I just have 3.10. So here I'll choose 3.10 and I'll hit OK, right? If you want to check that it's correct or not, or let's say your Python code is running or not, I'll tell you that how to confirm. So main.py file will be like default file will get created when you create your project. Simply run print hello world. Don't worry about syntax, why we are writing inside quote, why we are writing parentheses and all, right? Now let's run. Now for running the file, there are two options. For the first time, keep in mind guys, for the first time, always run your code by hitting right click and run this main at the first time, right? Now at the second time or third time or many more, let's say I want to change this hello world to W, right? At the second time, you can simply run via this button, green button, here as well or here as well. You can simply hit on this button, your code will run. See, now I'm getting output as hello W, right? Understood how to use Pycharm? Anyone has any issues? The speed is good, or I'm going too fast, I'm going too slow?
The little bit slow will be better, I hope.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone has any concern regarding speed? Okay. Okay. So let's move ahead. So setup related, anyone has any issues?
Bro, can you explain once again, bro? Because I stuck up in main.py here.
That's what I told you. Have a look first. So I'll tell you. So here we just need to confirm that how to run the scripts into the Pycharm. So how to confirm? Just write print. And inside curly braces, just write any message, whatever you want. Let's say hello NG. Right? Now let's print. At the first time, if you want to print this, what you can do is hit right click and go to run main. At the first time, guys, right? I'm getting output like this. But at the second, third, after changes, rather than this, you can simply hit on this run button. There is already button is there. You can simply hit this run or this run. It will be the same output for you. Right?
Okay.
Anyone has any issues now? Shall we move ahead? Okay. Let's go ahead, and Pycharm installation is done. There are a few introductory part. I'll tell you quickly. Will not waste much time into theory now. So, guys, please be on mute. So, interpreted language. So Python is interpreted language, right? Always keep in mind. Any programming language that isn't already in the machine code prior to runtime. So it is explaining whatever that we have discussed earlier, right? It will not compiled. It will directly run on during runtime and all, right? It's unlike compiled language. So C, C++ are the compiled language. Python is the interpreted language. Why? We have proved that as well. Now the second point is very much important. Now .py is a extension, right? .py is a extension of Python file that you guys need to keep in mind. Python file extension is .py. Whenever you're gonna see, let's say in the Pycharm as well, you can see main.py, right? So it's an extension of the Python file code first compiled to the bytecode as .pyc. Now what is meant by that? So as Python is a smart language, guys, what Python used to do is, let's say you have two files. What I'm doing is, let's say sia.py and sia1.py. Let's say I have two files. Right? As Python is a smart language, what I wanted to do is, I have ABC. Let's say ABC over here, right? Here in this file as well, I need to use this ABC. So I have two options. Either I can write the same ABC over here, or what I can do is I can import, or I can take this input from this SI file, right? So being a better programmer, I will not write this ABC manually, the same thing into this file. What I can do is I can simply import this particular ABC from si.py file, right? Let's say what is import and all that we have a session, but importing means just taking something from this file. So what I'll write, import SIA, that's it. If I'm writing import SIA means whatever functionality or whatever things that is there, I can use the same thing into SI1.py file, right? As Python is a smart language, what Python will do? When the interpreter, see guys, interpreter means you can say Python cursor, because it's go line by line, right? So don't be confused if I hit the word, if I use the word interpreter, right? So if the interpreter will goes to this line, import SIA, this will be the first line. What Python used to do is, Python used to create in the background. We did not need to create it separately. In the background, Python used to create a .pyc file. You can say bytecode file, right? For usable. So at the second time, if Python wanna use, it will not be, the Python will not be run this particular si.py file each and every time. At the first time, Python will gonna save .pyc file in the background, right? Now, let's say at the first time I'm printing print ABC. I hit run. I got the output as ABC. Now I don't want this ABC. I want that CBA should be printed rather than ABC. Again, I change this particular output to CBA. And if I hit run, at that time, this PYC file, I'm not overwriting this PYC file. At that time, this PYC file, the Python will not invest his time to create this PYC file again, right? And the Python interpreter will not go to this file and then import line by line and then come back. See, It's a like whatever operation that Python is doing, it's just for microseconds, but still it should affect the timing of running the program. And that's the main concern, that Python will not create the PYC file each and every time while running SIA1.py. Understood? Understood? Or like seems like going
Yeah,
over your head?
yeah, yeah, bro, clear, bro.
Cool. See guys, if you are sitting idle, this class is not for you, to be frank, because if you have issues, concerns, shoot it. After a few days, it will be like difficult for you to understand, because at that time I cannot explain that what is PYC file, what is PY, why it is interpreted and not, because that in that case there will be different questions.
So can you just repeat that? Actually, that PYC means the first time I am running that command, that particular moment that code is saved as PYC. The second time, if I change something, that particular code, then
Okay,
if I,
let's use the same thing with the help of code. I hope that will be better for you guys. Let's create the file. How to create file? Just hit right click, new, it's Python file. I'll create main1.py now. It's working slow because I'm running Mac inside Windows. That's fine. So what I'm doing is a equal to 2, b equal to 3. Don't worry what is a, y equal to, how you are written this, a equal to only, y not plus and all. That is none of our business now. Let's move ahead. Now in the main.py file, what I'll do is I'll just simply import this main. I'll just import this main, right? Now my question is, if I'll print a, let me check it's small or capital, small a. If I print a, see guys, here I don't have anything. A is equal to something, right? I don't have anything over here. If I run this code, I'm getting that a is not defined. I'm getting a is not defined. Now let's do one thing. Give me a sec. So while running this import, if I am, let's say here, let me write ABC. Let's run this code. Run it. Okay, cool. I'm getting result as ABC. Now at the first time when my interpreter hit this line, in the background, Python has already stored file as main.pyc. Main.pyc. At the first time when I'm running this ABC. Now, what has happened? Let's say, let's change this to CDB, right? Or anything. If I run this code now, guys, it's working slow, but that's fine. When I run this code, this Python will not create that PYC file again. It's just one-time activity that Python will do to save your time for running this code. Got it?
why it cannot do the first time as a .py file? Why we have to create PYC file?
It will create automatically. You did not need to do the .pyc. It's just a theoretical concept that will gonna happen in the background. Why? Because in that PYC file, it will be stored, that whatever Python will gonna store the bytecode, or let's say Roman data of this main.py. So whenever if you are hitting this run command again and again to run this main.py file, the time will should not be waste to go to main.py and compile each and everything line by line. Getting my point?
Yeah. So while this only import something we already existing file, right?
Yes. So import main means what? We are importing this main file.
Got it.
You are importing the module, correct? It's like
No, not module. You can say module, but right,
it's kind
module.
of module only. So
Yes.
file is a module.
Cool. That's fine. That is what is written over here. You can say xyz.py, it will create xyz.pyc and all. So you can have a look. I think we have covered this part, interpreted, interactive and object-oriented theoretical part. Applications, easy to learn, interactive, portable, extendable, database, it has GUI and all. Whatever it is, you can read this theory. If you are going for the interview, let's have a look of this theory. Now let's move ahead. Guys, you need a break for 5-10 minutes or it's good? Shall I move ahead with the coding now?
Yeah, we take 5 minutes break, bro.
Okay. Quickly take 5 minutes break. Let's come back over here 10:06, right? Let's come back to 10:11.
Okay, one question, Dheeraj. One question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That first file, the main.py, there you have mentioned A is equal to 5, B is equal to C, and main.py, there you mentioned as a string. So what exactly you are importing from that main.py? So there is nothing is importing, right?
Here?
Yeah.
Nothing what? Nothing is importing.
Yeah, importing means whatever here the output we can see CDS.
Variables is there, na? Variable is there.
Yeah.
So it's, don't worry. That's what I told you. No, like don't go deeper. What is A equal to what, B equal to what? Because right now we all don't know what is A, why we have written A equal to and why we are written B equal to. We are not studied variables and all. My motive was like just to explain in the background, it will gonna save .pyc file. So in the interview, if someone gonna ask you, what have you ever heard about bytecode file? So you should tell him or her that, okay, I have learned these things and the Python is more usable and this could be the advantage of the Python.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Let's come up at 3:11, no, not 3:15, 3:11. My bad, not 3:11, 10:11. Let me pause my recording. Cool. So guys, let's jump to the Python coding now.
Sir, may I have a question, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. So here we are not going to mention this, extension .py or PIC. Automatically, it will accept its own, right?
So in the Pycharm, it will automatic, because whenever if you are creating your file, it will gonna ask you which type of file you want to create. Let's say if I'm writing Python file, automatically the py extension will get appended.
Yeah,
right? But if you are writing any command or any file into Notepad, then you have to do it just like in txt we used to write, right?
Yes,
.txt file. The same thing. If you have to write, you can just import. Let's say I'm writing netmico. You can save it at .py. Getting? .py. That's it.
Got
It will be Python file.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Sir, can you be zoom in this this pie chart? The font?
Zoom. Okay. Okay. Shall I increase the font for you?
Yeah.
Need to check it. The task for you. Let me check. Can we zoom or not? It is. Is it not visible to you guys?
Can you just check in view that?
You can increase view, sir. View.
Yeah, I guess. I'm thinking. Tell me, guys. Tell me. We all are engineers or not?
Appearance. View appearance.
Okay, view and then appearance and then
enter the full screen.
Okay, full screen mode.
Gen mode can.
Let's try Zen mode, man. I didn't use that. Oh no, it will not going to work for you guys.
It's okay, sir. Okay, fine.
That's fine. I'll figure that out. Don't worry about it.
No, yes.
But
Actually,
see, that is just for
that's why. No problem.
no issues. That is just for to view that how to download, because this is on Windows. No, I'll bring up the things on Mac, so it will be more clear for you. Don't worry. Okay, let's start with the extensions. I believe we have. Anyone has any questions now? Shall I start? Just check. everyone is on mute, right? Otherwise, I need to use that funda to bring everyone on mute, and I'll use to complete, and then because it happens, right? If I use that particular funda, like if I put everyone on mute, and then after completion of the topic, if I unmute you, so you may lose the question.
Sir, in view only active editor, you can increase the only font size, sir.
That's fine. Let it be. Thanks for that. We'll see. Okay, thanks guys. Let's move ahead with the coding now. Okay. Now comments in Python. Now how you can comment the Python. So guys, in Python, there are three types of comments, right? Three types of comments in Python. So if you want to comment a single line, if you want to comment a single line, you can simply use hash. You can simply use hash. So let's check. Let me open Pycharm over here. View, appearance. Where is that? That's fine. I can zoom it
Active
like
editor.
this. That's fine. I can zoom it like this. Import. I hope that it is visible for you all now. So what I'll do is I'll write welcome to SIA. Right? How to do it? The first line comment. Let's say I just wanted to write this message to the user before writing my script. So I'll comment this line. So for commenting single line, what we use? Hash. Now, if I use hash, no guys, this particular line will not be printed. Will not be printed. Let's say, let's run this. See, I'm not getting anything because this line is commented out, right? So this is the hash operator we have to use for commenting single line. But what if I need to write like this? My bad. Welcome to SIA. Enter. This code will gives you the addition of numbers, right? This is what 2-line code. So for 2-line code, for single line, we can use hash, but for more than one lines, you can use 3 codes. You can use 3 codes. So here you can write whatever you have to write. You have to write under these 3 codes and complete that 3 codes. The same thing, right? Whatever you're gonna write inside these 3 codes, it will gonna comment it out, right? Still, if you want to see, if we run this, I'll not get anything. I'll not get anything because these lines are commented out. Any issues in the comments? How to comment the lines?
No, sir, it's fine.
Cool.
No.
Cool. Right? So this is the same way. For single line comment, we use hash. For multi-line comment, we use 3 codes. Right? Now, let's start or let's begin with the small programs, or you can say basic programs. Now, in the basic programs, we have to print hello world. You have to print hello world. So I can simply print. This is the syntax, right? Right now, I'm not telling that, okay, print is a function, it will gonna call to someone. That we will learn in the functions topic, right? Step by step, we're gonna move ahead. Don't worry about it. Print will simply print the message in front of you or in front of user. Whatever you will write inside this print, it will gonna print in front of you. Let's say I'm writing hello world. Hello world. And let's play or let's run. See, I'm getting hello world. This is the first ever program and this is a syntax, right? Now guys, if you miss to write, let's say this quotes, it will be error. Getting this Pycharm is giving error. You can see this red line, right? And that's the main concern. This is known as suggestions. And hence we are using Pycharm because we will get suggestions, right? And during this red line or with the help of this red line, we can identify, okay, there is some error in my code. Rather than before running, I'm not running this code, but before that only I'm getting this error. So if you hit double quotes, okay, there is no red line. It means there is no syntax error, right? In my code. Got it? Now let's move ahead with the next code. So here what I'm writing is print like have a look of this code. Here I'll write 3/. Here I'll write 4/. Here underscore I meant to say, and that's it. Now let's run this code. What I'm getting, hello world, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why I'm getting in this order only, guys? Can anyone tell me? Why not this is coming first, this is coming
line
second?
by line.
Very good.
Print line by line.
Because Python implements or Python run the code line by line. That is the major use of Python, and that is the key point of Python that you need to keep in mind. Let's say if I cut this particular code from here, line from here, and let's paste it over here, and let's run the code. See, now this line is coming above this lines because line by line Python is running the code. First this line will get executed, second this, third this. Now you guys need to tell me what will be the output. Let me bring this up. What will be the output of this? Okay, let me cut this. Let me paste it over here. Tell me what will be the output quickly.
Same to same it will display, sir.
3 line will be executed.
3 line, yeah.
3 line, 1, 2, 3.
Yes. After that,
What about this line?
no, it will not execute.
4 line executed, all line.
This line will get executed.
Hello world.
And we get
Double underscore, triple underscore.
No,
Guys,
third
Line
one,
10 will be error.
third one will not execute 2/0 syntax error.
Fourth one, I meant 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
fourth one.
Yeah, line 10 will be like error.
Yeah, guys, speak up. Like, let's say if you are getting doubt, it means you are learning. Now let's run this code. See, 1, 2, 3. And the fourth line, I'm getting this error, the 0 division error, but the fifth line is not been executed. So it means that Python used to run the code line by line, but whenever Python finds error, it stops the execution at that point, and interpreter will come outside of the program. Got me? Understood? Getting me or not?
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Python will go run line by line, but whenever there is error, the interpreter will comes out of the loop. Not loop, but out of the program. Right? This line will not get executed.
It
I
means,
hope we
sir,
are clear.
it means if the error is 1, 2, 3, 4 on the fourth line, that means it will not go to the fifth line. We can
Yes.
we can conclude on means this that okay, the error is on fourth line. After this completion of this error, then we can move the next line, right? Is it the way?
After resolving this error, not
Yes,
completion,
yes.
after resolving the error,
Okay,
yes. But that will,
Okay.
if there will be no error, everything will get executed. So what will gonna happen is interpreter will go to this line. Okay, this line is correct, print it. This line is correct, print it. This line is correct, print it. Oh, this line has error. Throw the error message to the user and come outside of the loop. Getting? See, here it is writing, it has written that line number 10. Line number 10 has error.
And what about line number 11, sir?
It will be skipped, no? At
Yeah.
that time only, interpreter will not go to this line.
Yes, I was asking that. Okay, when we will correct on line 10th, then again
It
we
will
will run.
see, it will throw the error.
Hmm.
It will throw the error. After throwing error, it will not go to this line.
Hmm.
Getting my point?
Put it, sir.
Cool.
Uh,
Let's move
but-
on.
Yeah, but we can ignore this error in error handling, correct? If you configure error handling.
Have you learned error handling?
No,
Right.
no.
See, like that's the main concern, no? Like that's what I ask everyone at the first moment. That anyone is here who knows Python. I know this type of because you know error handling, right? We can handle that error. But for those who are just learning Python from the scratch, that I cannot tell that we can handle this error or not. We'll go step by step.
Okay.
Okay, let's move ahead with the code. Yeah, so the key point is what? For running this code, Python always execute the file line by line. Move ahead. Okay, now biggest point, quotation mark in Python. So guys, Python is a user friendly language. So that doesn't matter in Python that how much quotes you use. Like just like in C, right? C or C++, you have to take care. Let me comment this part. So how to comment one line? We always know we have just learned that use hash in front of that. For multiple line, you can use 3 quotes, but it's like, let's say this 3 quotes we always use to show some message, right? Here I just want to comment all of these 5 lines. So how to comment in Pycharm? Select all and hit command. I mean, like in Mac there is a command, in Windows it's a control and /. It will automatically be commented, right? That's it. Now it will not hamper our whatever code that we're gonna write over here on line number 13. Now the quotes. So here I'll just write the quotes. Don't worry, you'll get whatever I'm explaining over here, whatever codes that I'm explaining over here, you'll get that as well. Quotes. Now in the quotes, guys, I told you that Python doesn't matter that how much quotes that you are using. Let's take an example of print. If you use single quote as well, guys, and let's run the code, you'll get output. If you use double quote as well, double quotes as well, you will get output. Same output. There will be nothing will gonna change in the output. If you use triple quote as well, you'll get triple quotes. You'll get output. So quote doesn't matter. But what matters in Python is, let's say I need to print double quote, like I need to print output like this. Where is my pen? Yeah, here. So I need to print output like this. Hello, single quote, and then O. That is your homework for today. You need to find that how I can print single quote inside. It should be double quote. Sorry, it should be single quote. Hello, hell, single quote, then O, then again single quote. Getting my point? You can print like this. Let me show you this. You can print outside double quote and inside single quote. Let's print this out. There will be no error. But if you write this, single quote outside as well, single quote inside as well, there will be error. Obviously, Python will not understand, okay, where your string, where your whatever you're writing is starting and where it is ending. It will get confused. But you need to find the way that how do you print single quote inside that double quote. Is it possible or is it not? Right? This will be a homework for today. Now, blank lines. So guys, Python, whenever Python has a Python interpreter, checks the blank line like this. Let's see, let's run the code. See, here in the output, I'm not getting any blank line. But what Python interpreter will do is, when Python interpreter goes to this line, it found that, okay, this is a blank line. It means it will be automatically skipped. Right? Python interpreter will skip the blank line and it will go towards next line. So here in the output, I'll not get any blank line. Getting my point? This is the use of blank line. Now, until this part, anyone has any issues?
So if we want to keep a blank line in between these 3 lines, then is there any option?
Then that will be like we're gonna see that how you can implement. You have to use \n and \t for that, but that is another funda.
Like C and C++.
Yes, the same thing. The same thing here as well.
Okay. Actually, I'm recalling
that
all
as
this
well.
when I was doing BTech. Yeah.
Yes.
It's already 4-5 years.
Dheeraj, I just pasted that print command for the homework.
That's what we learn, right? So that's what I told you, right? So that's we can print whatever you have written. You can print that because outside is double quote. Outside is double quote. My question was, here as well single quote, here as well single quote, and then side that I need to quote.
Oh,
try this.
Okay.
If it is so simple, why should I give it as a homework? Okay, let's move ahead. Guys, before jumping to the variable part, any suggestions, any feedbacks, whatever the speed and all, anything we should improve in our class, or it's good?
Now it's good for me, sir.
Okay for me.
Okay, cool. So like I'll try my best that you will not get bored in my class. We have to use, that is the main concern, that I always ask you questions in between. So it will be interactive session for both of us. Now let's move towards variable. So rather than going to this bookish definitions, guys, before jumping to the variable concept, I wanted to give the same example that in the demo class I used to give. Let's say you are going to the market. If you are to purchase something, you need something to store that things, right? You need some bucket, right? So that bucket is known as variable, right? That bucket is known as variable. It means variables are nothing but to reserved memory location to store the values, right? This means that when you create a variable,
Dheeraj, between voice gone
is
off.
it is okay.
Yeah.
Let's start from the variable again.
Okay,
So
okay.
variable means, let's take an example like that. If you're going to the market, you're purchasing something, you need something to store, you need some bucket to store that particular products, right? Same as of variable, you need a location or memory space to store your values inside that. That is known as variable. That is known as variable. See guys, I'll share you the link of one good book. From that book, you can learn, you can groom yourself with the book's definition. But my funda is understand the concept first, because you're gonna get these things into on Google as well. What is variable and what is what? But the concept you're gonna learn over here, right? So it's variable is nothing but it's a memory location that will store the values. It is meant by variable. Now let me bring my pen. Now, which type of data? Let me bring this box. It's a box, or you can say a memory allocation. Inside the memory, you have to store the variable. So this variable will have a variable name. This will be name, and this variable also have ID, right? What is ID? Have a session for it, right? Like random ID, Python used to give the random ID to this variable, right? The name that you are giving and the ID, the random ID will get allocated to the memory, right? Understood? Variable is, any concerns?
So Dheeraj, can you please repeat? Because I just break from the container box.
Okay, no issues. So variable means is just a box, or let's say memory allocation in which is required to store the values, right? It's a box which is required to store the values. Now this variable has some variable name and the variable ID. This ID will be random, right? Python used to generate the ID by itself. There is no range and all. You can, if you need more details of ID, you can go and check on like you can dig into it further. Now, whatever data, listen this carefully, guys. Whichever data that we are storing into this particular variable name as data types, right? So data types means the type of data that we are storing into this variable known as data types. Got it? Now, what is the data types? What are different types of data types? What type of data that we can store? That is another concept. But definition is like this only. The type of data we are gonna store into the variable known as data types, right? Now, there are some key points to write variable, to declare the variable. Rather than writing, you can say to declare the variable. Now, if you ever heard about C++, right? So in the C++, what we used to write the variable. If you want to write variable, no guys, you need to declare that variable. Int C, int A. Remember? If someone of you remember, let's assume that. I think char was a character, char A, right? Double float was there. Here in Python, no need to declare this stuff. No need to declare, okay, this C will be the integer data type, B will be the this type of data type, right? Simply you can write C is equal to 4. Now what is this 4? That we'll learn when we learn data types, right? What type of data is it that we will gonna learn. Now C equal to 4. It's a assignment of the variable. How to write, if how to assign value to the variable, always keep in mind this is the equal to sign, and this is what this is known as assignment operator. This is known as assignment operator. Now what is operator? That will also learn in future. See, don't worry about each and everything now. My motto is we are learning variable, so focus on variable first, and then we'll move side by side or step by step. What is mean by assignment, what is mean by data types and all. We have covered everything in this class. So how to assign variable is simple. C equal to 4 means this equal to, what is the work of this equal to in layman term? I'll tell you. Whenever you see equal to in any of the programming language, always keep in mind, guys, right value gets assigned to left. Right value gets assigned to left. Means in this case, if I'm writing C equal to 2, what will gonna happen? Let's consider this is a memory allocation. Because C is what? A name of variable now. How to write variable? C is equal to 5, let's say. So C is a variable name. So C is a variable name. Let's say this ID is 101, random ID. And inside that, the 4 will get stored. Inside that, the 4 will get stored. So it means that right value is assigning to the left. Now, let's say A equal to 5 and C is equal to A. C is equal to A. Now, guys, tell me what will be the value of C?
5, sir.
5.
So 5 only.
Why?
5.
Because
Yeah.
A is
Yeah.
equal to 5 and C is equal to C. Right assigned to the left. Right assigned to the left. Got you? Sorry, got me?
Yes, sir.
Any issues?
No.
Cool. Now let's move ahead. Variable name must be start with the letters or the underscore character. Very good example, or let's say interview point. Always keep in mind that variable will not start with the, let's say, alphanumeric. Sorry, my bad. It will not start with the it will not start with a number. Let's say 1C, it's not a correct variable type, right? #B, not correct type, right? It should be alphanumeric. It should be C1, C2, that is fine. C underscore 2, that is also fine. You can even write underscore C. That is also the valid variable name, right? But you cannot write like this. So always, if you are ever solving the MCQ, there will be the question that what are the different types of variable that you can use. So in that case, it will gonna help you. So always keep in mind, it should be alphanumeric or it should be start from underscore. That is the valid variable. Now let's move ahead. Now variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscore that we have just learned. Now variable names are case sensitive. So guys, Python is a case sensitive language. So always keep in mind to deal with the variables in the Python. So it means the age is equal to 50. Age is equal to 50 and age equal to 50. Now Python will store 3 different memory allocation for these 3 different names. It will be like, as it is case sensitive, the name is different, right? So Python will store this name in 3 different memory allocations. 50, 50, 50. It will be considered as different, right? No, my bad, 50, 60, and let's say 70. But it will be 3 different, not 6, not 50, 50, 50. 3 different types of contents in that. It will be 3 different variables. My motto is it will not consider the same thing, same like the spelling should be same, but it's case sensitive, right? That's what the Python says. Now let's move ahead with very important part. Creating the variable we have seen, right? How to create. Count is equal to 10, miles equal to 15.2, name is equal to John. Now let me check, do we have data types? Okay, we'll come back to our data types. What type of data is 10, what type of 15.2 is, and what type of this, what is it is string actually. Okay, let's bring that point over here only, so it will be, you can compare side by side. So the data types, let me go to that slide and then we'll come back to this slide. Okay, Now, Python casting, or you can say data types. What is the data types? Can anyone quickly tell me? Question to you all.
Yeah.
Variables?
Yeah.
It's a type of data. Which type of data you are assuming?
No. So the data types means the data which will gonna stored, which type of data which will gonna stored into the variables, right? So it is my data types. Now there are 3 types of data types. The major type you can say we're gonna use in the Python. First is int. Int means integer data type. First data type known as integer data type. Now we all know number line, right? We all know number line, which will start from 0, -1, some infinite, 1, 2, up till infinite. Now everything which is written in the number line, it's a integer data. It's a integer data type. Means a equal to 1. 1 is what? Integer data type. A equal to 1.5. What? Is it integer or float? Sorry, is it integer? Does
No.
does 1.5
No,
lies on
no,
the number line? No,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
an
no.
integer data type. Now
It's not
b equal to 7. It's integer data type. Like -19. Is it integer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's an integer data type, right? So the numbers which is lying on a number line is known as integer data type. See, I'm trying my best to like bring you up from the mathematical whatever we have learned, right? So the book's definition could be different, huh? So don't judge me that we are not coming up with the book's definition over here. Now the second type of data known as float data type. So float data type means the whatever data that we are writing in the decimal format, it could be positive, it could be negative. It's known as floating data type. It's known as float data type. So let's say -1.5 float data type, 1.5 float data type, 79.2 float data type. Whatever which we are writing inside, like with the help of decimal points, is known as float data type. Now the major or the most used data type. So the most used data type is string. Very important, and most of the cases in Python we use string data type. Now string data types include ASCII characters. Now anyone have heard about ASCII in the college days? In C language?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Anyone knows the long form of ASCII?
Just
Something like
remember, but yeah.
American Standard Council for I forgot.
No. It's like American Standard Code Information Interchange. Right? So ASCII means like computer, like, or the Python you can say, or any interpreted language or compilation language will not understand. Let's say if I'm writing print A, or let's say A equal to 2 or 12. So my interpreter or my particular language will not understand what is A is. It has a separate code for this capital A and small a to Z, right? So in ASCII, there are 128 characters, which includes spatial characters as well. So in this 128 characters, we have already given the numbers to all the characters that we have. Let's say capital A. Anyone knows the value of capital A? 65, right? Small a value is 97. We will gonna see this when we learn the ID part. No, there we're gonna see this. So capital value is 65, small a value is 97. So according to that, Python used to decode this. So in .pyc file, now you'll get, you can compare in the pyc file. No, this type of data will gonna stored, right? So in this way, yeah.
Sir, what year A is equal to 65 is its value based on
65 is the like no. I have not given.
Okay,
It has
okay,
been
just like
so it has been already there.
in
Like,
ASCII, right?
Yes, it's in ASCII. If you gonna check the ASCII table, no, you can just search on Google that I just need to check ASCII table. So there you're gonna get this. A value is 65, small a is 97.
Okay, fine. I just forgot all this. Okay, no issue, sir. Please carry
Okay,
on.
let's move ahead now. Okay, now I was at string data type. So string data type includes all the string characters. String characters means all the names, letters, numbers, right? One has not the value of one, guys. One has also some ASCII value. It could be anything. I don't remember. You can have a look of that table. Let's example I'm taking. Let's say it could have, I guess, 128. I'm taking example. So one has their own value, right? So it's a string data type. So how to write string data type 1 and the int 1, because this 1 is also the integer data type, right? And 1 is also coming under string. So hence string includes integer data type plus float data type, right? But writing string, the syntax of writing string is different. So let's say a equal to 1. Can anyone tell me what type of data is in a now?
So here it is in accounting as integer.
Integer. Now, if I need to write 1 is in string, I should give this quotes. Single, double, we have seen, right? It doesn't matter. If I'm writing this 1 in the quote, no guys, this particular 1 will be string data type. We have to prove, let's prove that. Let me clear this stuff. Now I'll write a is equal to 1, b is equal to string 1. Now how to check which type of data it is? We have a function. Now function means, for this point of time, you can just have a look that whatever we are requesting to someone, let's say I'm your trainer, you're asking me question, I need to give the answer. Same like this, you're sending that request. Let's say I want a type of, it's a function, type is a function, guys. I'm writing, tell me what is the type of a, what type of data inside is stored inside a. If I write this, I'm getting
Integer.
class integer, right? Now let's print b string. Getting any issues
So didn't
in the
get.
data type?
So didn't get. When we are just executing as a print, then what will be the output? Will it be string? Because it is not related to a and b. A is something different, b is something different, right? If we are okay, got it. You have written here type b, so it will string. Got it, sir? Sorry, it's my bad.
Always
Yeah.
keep in mind what this equal to will do. Right data to left data, right? There will be two containers. See, whenever if you see any code, no guys, go line by line. It's a good thing if you are compiling that code by your own. Okay, what it will do, there will be two blocks, a and b, because there are two variables. In first we have 1, but second we have this. So I'm printing type of a. So what type of data in a? I have integer, I should get integer. What type of
Yes,
data
yes.
in b? I should get string.
Got it.
Let's move ahead. Okay, so these are three. We will learn global when we learn function, right? So we'll use this particular data type at the time of function. Let's come back to the variable quickly. Okay, so now tell me what type of data is this? 10.
Integer.
What type of data is 15.2?
Floating.
Floating.
What type of John is?
String.
It's a string.
Right. What type of this?
Float, sir.
Float.
No, string.
String. Go unconfused, guys.
String, sir.
This
String.
String only.
always keep
String.
Yes, sir.
this
Also.
String only.
Float.
No, sir, it will be a float.
No, string or float.
guys. Revise. See, after this class, revise yourself. See, 3 code doesn't matter.
String. Yeah.
String then.
So, like in the demo section, someone asked me the question that how should I rate myself after this class? It depends on you, that you need to practice. My thing is like I will gonna give you my best. That okay, this is the word or this is the key that you have to learn, but you have to practice it by yourself, then you're gonna learn. So today what you can do is this installation, this complete installation stuff. Try to write this, try to print the type of this integers, try to do some like logics, And then let's come back to the next section. Let's move ahead, an interesting part of the Python. Okay, yeah, multiple assignment. Now there will be hell of questions for you. It's 10 minutes left. That's fine. We're gonna cover this part. Okay, so A is equal to B is equal to C is equal to 1. It means, guys, it's the same thing. It's the same thing like this, right? The value will be the same. Now you guys need to tell me, will Python will assign different memory, let's say like this, A, B, C, 1, 1, 1, or it could be like this. Tell me.
As per my understanding, it should be a different name IDs.
Anyone
The
else?
same memory. It will be used the same memory.
Why it will use the same memory? Why not different?
Same
Because the
memory.
variable names are different, right?
Variable names are different, but both all are equal.
What are equal? Data?
No, data no. All the variables are equal.
All the
variables.
variables.
The ABC one.
Well
I
means
think
A equal to B, B equal to C.
ID would be different.
No. Come, don't think about mathematical topic. A is equal to B, B equal to C, then A equal to C. No.
The value is equal to value is same, right? So
Yeah,
even
It
value
will
is
be
same.
different.
Hmm.
ID, because
Will be
ID will be
different.
assigned to each variable. Like,
Hmm.
okay.
Okay.
I will be wrong.
Let's 101, 102, 103, 105. Let's say. So guys, tell me, if it is C or C++, at that time we can understand it, because that the C and C++ Java is not a smart languages. Python is a smart language. Python says, hey, the data is same, right? It's a constant data that I'm using. Why should I invest my 3 memory allocations? What I will do is, if the data is same, I will create a single memory allocation. Let's say I'll give only single ID. We'll prove that. We'll prove that when we learn IDs, right? Why should I invest this 3 memory allocation? My code will get slower. What I'll do, I'll write 3 names to this variable. I'll save this one. But the scene is, let's say by any chance, if someone of you replace this value B equal C equal to 2, then at that time, what Pythons does know, it will remove this C from this table 105, and it will create a different memory for C. Getting or not?
Yeah.
Yes, Dhiresh.
Right?
Yes, sir.
That is the fund of assigning the multiple variables. Always keep in mind this type of issues people don't know. When I ask one of the candidate what are the different data types supported, so people used to tell me that what is character, then they used to tell me characters, they used to tell me double. So in Python we don't have this type of data types, right? We cannot use it. We just have 3 types of data types: int, float, and string. That's it. Now let's consider this example: A, B, C, right? Now tell me how many memory will get allocated?
Sir, A equal to 1.
3.
Sir,
So
is
it
it
is yeah.
Sir,
So
is
it
it A
is
equal
3.
1 to 3, sir? Huh?
Because let's see here what we were doing. We are assigning everything the same value, right? But here there are different values. So this you can either assign like this as well, C equal to John, or you can assign like this as well: A, B, C, 1, 2, John. But don't ever try like this. Let me bring this. Sorry, give me a sec. Okay, but this guys. So A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to John. That is fine, right? But don't try like this: A, B, 1, 2, John, because Python will don't know that I need to store A in 1. That is fine. B in 2. But what about this? We are not assigning any variable over here, right? So in that case, it will be error. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, data types we have covered. I have our print this type of this numbers as well. What are the types? If you need to print the type of what data inside this particular variable, you can use this type function, right? So there are three types of numbers, guys: integer, float, and complex. So complex are like 3 plus 4j, real and imaginary numbers, and that is also comes under this numbers funda: integer, floats, and complex, right? So now the question is, when guys, am I audible, right?
Yes, bro.
Yes,
Yes,
sir, you're audible.
Cool. So the question is, when should we use integer data type? When should we use string data type? That is fine. Let's say the answer is simple, that whenever we need to use mathematical operations, right? Mathematical operation means plus, minus, division, something. At that time, we're going to use integer data type or float data type String data type is like, let's say I wanted to print something like, I want to print like Dheeraj 1, right? At that time, I'll use string data type. I cannot do mathematical operations on strings. That you need to keep in mind. That's the simple difference. Got it?
Yes,
Got
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, but sir, here a question that in complex, it's a 3 plus a 4j. So should it go with the integer or float? Because it is also alpha
It's
numeric.
yes. So it's actually complex. It's not integer, not floats. There are other data type name as complex.
Yeah, it's complex. Then what will be the output, sir? Will it
Output of
be
what?
integer or-
Type of num?
Okay.
Let's try it. 3 plus 4j. My bad. Print type of num. Let's see. What is the data type known as? Complex data type.
Okay.
String, my bad. Yeah, string, integer, float, and complex.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
more data type.
Okay, it will show the type of the function. What is the function is about, right? But it will not go.
No. It's not a type of function. It's a type of data which will gonna store into the variable.
Okay, type of.
Getting my point?
Mhm,
Which
mhm.
type of data is stored into this num? That type of
Okay.
this data is showing over here. It's getting printed.
Okay, got it.
Okay, that's it. And tomorrow's, like in the next session, we're gonna cover string slicing. So I request each one of you, do not miss this string slicing part. If you miss it at the time of automation, if you need to slice something from the output, I'm not going to tell you. I'll simply run this command. Okay, these are slicing from this to this, we are slicing out. Because you can also understand after completion of the module number 1, it will be much more difficult for me to come back to module number 1 and explain each and everything. So it's better to join the class, or if you are not joining at point of time, just have a look of recordings further, right?
Slicing
Okay.
means here what we are using, sir? Slicing means.
Hang on for a next week now. So slicing is like, let's say if there are multiple commands, right? So we are using show running configuration. From show running configuration, you want to bring only version, or you just need to bring some, let's say, interface descriptions. At that time, we're gonna use this slicing part.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, tell me quick feedback of the speed as well as the learning. Are you getting, or do I need to change something in my class? Tell me quickly.
Sir, my part is fine, sir.
It was awesome. Awesome, Dilip.
Really, it's awesome.
Cool. Those who are not familiar with the programming background, all good?
I think it is good. Dheeraj.
Yeah. Fine for me. I don't have any background, but I can able to learn. Yep.
You will definitely. Okay, then guys, let's wrap up the class. Let's meet next week, Saturday at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Dheeraj, can we get this like this light?
Yes. You'll get slides, you'll get the programs, Okay, just hang on for a while. Huh? I'll show you this. I guess I forgot. Let me bring this up for you. Let me open my drive. I'll tell you what things that you're gonna get. Let me put this screen first. Okay, videos. No. Give me a last minute. Huh? Okay. So, guys, you will see there are there will be two folders in the drive link, whatever you are getting, right? There will be two folders. First is your videos. I'm not sure about videos right now because I think SI has implemented some what application. So there, that could be possible that you will get these videos, but this will be the link shared by me only. I'm owner of this particular drive. So here you will get everything. Here the device configuration means this will gonna use when we start module number 2. So this, you can leave right now, right? Like whenever we're gonna cover module 2, 3, then you have to touch these folders. Now you have to just look off this module 1 basics. So here you'll get all the commands as well as the files. See, data types, whatever we are learning is written over here. Everything that we are learning, it's already there. The scripts are already there, as well as I'm gonna share whatever we have completed today in day 1. In the study material, you will get the slides, right? This slides is already there, whatever we are learning, right? And there is one book you can refer for if you like. Some of you want to understand the bookish concept of like few topics. You can go read the topics from this book and then come back if there are any issues. I hope I'm clear.
Dheeraj,